So welcome everybody to Learning Chromebooks. This is changed, as you know. We're now going to be broadcasting this on the fourth Thursday, same time, same place. You really don't need to do anything at all. You don't need to re-register. We got your number, so we'll keep in touch with you, and we will keep in and we'll let you know and send you reminders and so on and so forth. So that is for sure. And we will and Huey's got the list, and we will keep every fourth Thursday we will have our meeting. Huey's and I are going to work on a bit of a mail out to you and with a bit of a survey, because we've done this for about 8 months now, and we're not sure what you really want to talk about, because we've done 20 or 30 videos now, and we're wondering what everybody in the group would like to talk about. So we're looking for some ideas and suggestions. So we're going to probably get you a survey out in the next month, Huey? We're going to work on that together.
Yeah, just keep reminding me to do it.
We'll work on that, and we'll see what we can get a survey, because we certainly would like.
Do we have an opening? Do we have an opening theme for this?
Music theme?
Yeah.
No, we.
Did we ever do one?
We never did a music theme for this.
Okay, we'll have to do one.
I'm going to put you in charge of that after Tech for Senior Live. That wild one.
I feel a lot of complaints, and I have to do that too.
All right, we're going to have some music for you. So we're going to do that. So we have today for our segment, we've got 10 minutes. We're going to do a bit of a question answer for 10 minutes. If you have any questions, then you can do that. And then Huey's got about a half-hour segment, and I've got a segment, and then we'll have a bit of a Q&A before we finish. So if you have any questions, I think, now who had their hand up? So I thought somebody had.
Carol had her hand up.
Carol, did you have a question about your Chromebook?
Yeah, and I don't have one yet, but I've been advising various clients who are looking to buy one and helping the ones who have bought them set them up. And one of the questions I've been getting from people, and you may have answered this in an earlier segment, so if that's the case, just tell me to, go back and look, and I will. But one of the things that I had been reading and now I'm being asked about is what seems to be the change in the touchpad and the going away from the left and right, buttons or parts of the pad to keep to a finger motion instead, a double finger. Can you comment on that and whether that's becoming widespread in the trend of the future?
I'll give you my opinion, and then Huey or Bob can certainly give theirs. That really, so when you look at a trackpad, and it's important that you understand, because there's a lot of different ways a trackpad works. There's the touch part of a trackpad, and then there's the mechanical part where if you actually push down on a trackpad, you can make it click, right? It actually, there's a mechanical part, but there also is, like you say, a 1-finger, 2-finger touch on it as well, and it depends on your Chromebook on which one works the best and which one works. They're not all the same. Now, the Chrome OS that you're using on a Chromebook works with all of them, and it works very effectively. So I don't think it really makes any difference. The one thing that I will say is that I would encourage you to learn how to use a trackpad. Now, it doesn't matter if you want to use a mouse, that's okay, use a mouse. But what I see in our workshops we do is people don't know how to use a trackpad, and they're still using their finger, like a one-touch click, and they're just not going very fast. So you need to learn the 2-finger and 3-finger swipes as well. Huey, do you have any comments on that?
Yeah, I was pointing to me. I'm one of those people that I don't use the swipes. I use the corners to click, and I use my 1 finger to move around. But I type with 1 finger too. So,
well, yeah, and I mean, Chris Rosinski, I don't know, is Chris here today? Chris and I teach Chromebooks, and he always brings his mouse along, and he says this is Ron's dead mouse, and he holds it up and says, don't use this. And he's a trackpad guy. And I must admit, I'm a lot better, and I'm trying to, and I learned the 2 and 3 finger swipes, but it's a learning. So I think that what I would recommend to people is, and there's lots of YouTube videos, just go onto YouTube and say Chromebook trackpad and how to use it. You just need to know the commands and how to do it, and you'll get better. And it really works very quickly. Then you can really work things well with that.
Yeah, I prefer the touch screen more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I have found my touch screen has got a couple of spots, especially in the corners, that don't always, if I hit the X several times, it doesn't work. I've got to use the trackpad, move the mouse up there and click it, and it works fine. Right. But I think Dorothy's question was to whether she's apparently fine, if I'm understanding it correctly, that sometimes you're seeing some trackpads that don't, when you push the button down, it doesn't work as no, it was Carol, I'm sorry. Where you push the button down or the corner of the trackpad and it doesn't do anything. Is that what you were saying?
No, it was really more about people's preferences and difficulties of being able to use the swipes.
Right.
For some people, particularly depending on the length of their fingers and things, that's actually a more difficult way to navigate. So I wanted to know if that's the way the industry is going, where all new Chromebooks are going to be coming out without mechanical trackpads.
You can use it however you want, and you could use it with a mouse as well. If you want to use a mouse and not use the trackpad, that's okay as well. So it's really up to whatever your preference is.
Yes. So the buttons aren't going away, is what you're saying.
No. Now you do understand that a Chromebook keyboard is different than a PC keyboard.
Yes.
And that the top buttons are not function buttons. They're different. There's an overview, and there are different buttons on the top.
Yep.
Yeah. Hewie, we should probably get on with your segment because Ron's got a question. Ron's got his hand up. Go ahead, Ron. Just unmute yourself.
Do you guys know how I can maintain a set of specific pages that I open when I start? Well, the real question is, when I start up, I have specific 5 sites that open. But once I close Chrome browser and I open the browser again, those sites don't come up. No, nothing comes up other than the search bar.
Right.
So I'd like to, when I start Chrome again, to have those pages come up again.
It's a setting. It's a setting in Chrome. In Chrome itself, it works with on the PC and your browser as well. There's 3 ways that you can set it up. One is where it sets it up with just the way you're talking about. You can set it up with what you were last doing, or you can set up a specific a group of sites you want to open, and you can tell it to always do that. And there's another choice, or you can say, okay, make that list from everything that's open now, and it'll remember it that way too. But it's in your settings under keyboard.
And that's a Chrome.
I don't see that in settings. In settings,
Chrome.
It's open a new tab page, continue where you left off, or open a specific page or set of pages.
Right.
And that's it.
Yeah. Ron, I've got a video that's coming up. I'm going to show you a video on that today. So we'll have a Q&A at the end. And if we don't answer your question, can we come back to that? Because I'm going to show you that. In fact, I'm going to show you how you can actually paste that to the shelf and actually have it the page you want right open on your shelf. So you can do that as well. Hewie, do you want to go ahead with your segment?
Yep.
And let's get going?
Let me move this out of the way. And my apps on my Chromebook, part 1. I'm Hewie Poplock. Today we're going to feature Zap2it, Titan TV, YouTube TV, and Pluto TV. I'm going to show you what programs I have on my Chromebook and give you a short demonstration of them. It is by no means a lesson on how to use each of them. Let's first examine my apps on my Chromebook. We're going to click the launcher and the up arrow, and that shows us our listing of apps. You will notice little dots over here on the right. I happen to have 5 of them. That's because I have 5 pages of apps. You may only have 2. You may have more, depending upon how many apps you installed by default. But let's take a look. I have 5 pages. Let's take a look at each of the pages so we see the apps that are there. I'm going to cover some of these in this recording and in others. As you see, I have quite a few apps installed. I can uninstall them. I can add more. As I add more, if it fills up the pages, it will give us additional pages. So let's take a look at some of the apps. Zap2it. We're going to hit the launcher button. We're going to open up our menu. We're going to find Zap2it, which I have indicated as TV. When we click it, we'll full screen it. This is a program that shows us the TV listings. You can set your provider. You put in your zip code. When you do, it'll list the providers either by cable, by satellite, or by antenna. Obviously, antenna is going to be just the local channels. I'm going to choose cable, even though I don't have cable. I am streaming, but this will give me the greatest number of shows. I'm going to choose the Charter Spectrum Manatee County because I put in my zip code already listed, or I could just choose the Eastern Time Zone, and we're going to go ahead and choose that. It's going to populate. I'm going to jump to today instead of now. As you can see, that it's early in the morning that I'm recording this. I'm going to go to the prime time, and it shows starting at 8 p.m. It populates it. I can search by channel, but the listings are here as well. And as I scroll down, let's say, I'm not sure what Press Your Luck is. Let's click that. And it will tell us this is season 3, episode 5. It's new. It's not a repeat. And it's at 8 p.m. on channel 7. Contestants from Dallas, Texas, Murrieta, California, and Solanas Beach, California. And I could add it to my favorite shows if I wish by clicking here. We can see there are a lot of channels and all of the programs. Different types of programs are color-coded. We can have grid preferences. We can jump to a certain time during the day. You can find a channel. I have logged in. I do have a free account, so it knows who I am. I can go to account settings, I can sign out, and I can also just show my shows. I don't have any selected yet, but as we come through here, okay, this is a new show for Kung Fu. This is season 1, episode 9. I haven't seen this yet, but let's go ahead and add it to my shows. And we look at my shows. You will see that program is here, and I can see all upcoming episodes by clicking here, and it will show us today, here's next week. So it's going to show us about two weeks in advance. And then it also tells us, it gives us suggestions on similar shows. It does give us more information up here, and there's an episode guide, cast and crew, so we can look at the episode guide. Now we are looking at season 1. We missed
several of these, as you can see, and there is the pilot is the first one, all the way through July 7th. We can look at the cast and crew. And so as you look at a favorite program, you can see information on it. And then, of course, the overview gives us a little combination of all of those things. We can go back to the TV listings by clicking back to home. It does bring us back to the time at which we had set, which was prime time. So that's Zap2it. Titan TV. Let's take a look at our apps. We're going to move to page 2. We're going to click on Titan TV. This is a TV schedule that is color-coded, and it gives you a lot of choices. Right now it's set for broadcast stations. Let's make it for 8 p.m. We can see the programs in prime time. You'll see that we're somewhat limited to the stations because it's only broadcast stations, but we have some choices here. The choices in this program are very good. We can go down to, we can choose right now, it's at broadcast stations. We can see that we have some choices, including YouTube TV, which is what I subscribe to, and I set it up this way. But let's see how you would create a new channel lineup. Click here, and you can go to broadcast, cable, digital cable, satellite, or live streaming TV. Since I stream, when I click this, I type in my zip code, and that's so it will find what is available and create the listing to my area. But you'll notice here that if you subscribe to several of the different streaming services, they're all listed here. So if you're watching, if you subscribe to Sling TV, depending upon whether you are in the Tampa area or you just want the national listing, and because I'm in the Tampa area and I have YouTube TV, that's the one I chose. So we're going to just go back, and so you can go if you're on a satellite, and you can see what's available here, and go back, and we'll cancel out of that because we're already set up. So what we're going to do is we're going to change this now to YouTube TV, and now you'll see all of the channels that I can pick up on YouTube TV. Set for, the schedule is set for 8 p.m. And let's take a look. If we click on one of these, which is Kung Fu, and as we look down, it gives us some information about it. Tells us what the title of this particular episode is. Season 1, Episode 9. Tells a little bit about the program, and it gives some credits. And you can look at additional airings, and it will show this week and next week. And because it's available on 2 different places, it shows me 4 listings, even though it's really 2. And understanding additional, so there's some explanation as you go through this as well. To the Titan listings, we click here. Takes us back to where it doesn't take us back to where we want to be. It takes us back to where we are. So we're going to come back over here to 8 p.m. And again, you'll see that there are a lot of channels because this is the YouTube TV listing. It color codes them. And let's see if We can set for any day or time that we want. We can print it. And there's a more. And so we can also do it in a lineup order. We can do it in 3 hours or full width. We can just check the movies, HD TV, favorites, or new. This tells you exactly what's there, gives you a lot more information than what you will find on the guide on YouTube TV itself.
Let's go ahead and pause here for a minute. Ron and I talked about it. Maybe we'd break in and see if there were any questions or comments. The next part of this video, I'm going to show you YouTube TV and Pluto TV and how you can watch it on your Chromebook. But any questions on the guide, the two guides I showed, Ron?
Not just a comment. When you go and click the launcher and you want to find the app that you're looking for, and you're going down the list, the Chrome OS now has changed the launcher, and the launcher is really a lot more things. And all you have to do on the launcher is type in like TIT for Titan TV in the launcher, and it'll find the app. All right. So you don't have to go down the different pages to find the app. Just type in what you're looking, and it'll find the app right away for you. So it's
one of the reasons I like to do it when I'm doing these videos is so people can see where it is in the list and so on. But you're absolutely correct. That is
but that's a quick way of, particularly when you have 5 or 6 pages and you're looking for something, just type it in the launcher and it'll tell you exactly where it is.
Yes, TIT.
Yeah, just TI. It'll find whatever starts.
It'll find it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It'll just do a search. Go ahead, Hewie. We probably should move on.
Okay.
YouTube TV. We're going to go to page 4, where we'll find YouTube TV. YouTube TV is a streaming service that I subscribe to. I pay it's around $85 every month, and I watch it on my TV. But you can also watch it on your Chromebook. Let's take a look. Let's full screen this. You can see it says top picks for you. You can go to the library, you can go to live. Let's take a look at live. And you can see all of the programs that are on currently. We do have to be very careful. If I show any broadcasts, what I will do is I will stop the video and you will not see it, so that we don't violate any copyright laws. But we can go to our library and see what I have saved in the library, or what's there most watched. So if we went to a Law and Order, for instance, it shows us a listing of them. We can see various seasons. We can see what I've watched. And if I click this, I will cut out the video, but you'll see a screenshot. We'll come back to home. If I go to the live, if you click on a program, it will give you information about it. We'll close that. Okay, so we're in prime time now. And so we can now go down our listing in order. So it would be hard to find what we're looking for. You can search. So you can search whatever you want, and it will help you, and it'll also give you some hints. It will show you all of the networks. So if I want to, let's say I want to look at what's on a particular network, They're alphabetical. So if I want to see let's say we want to look at the Sci-Fi channel, it will show us an ad for the Sci-Fi channel. Let's see, down below, we can see what movies are on the Sci-Fi channel. It shows some information about them and what's live. So here's what's live now, and here's what's up and coming on the schedule. You can watch your favorite TV program on your Chromebook in your house. As long as you're on your Wi-Fi, you're going to be able to watch it. Remembering that whatever TV service you have, especially if you're streaming it, you want to make sure that you have the number of devices that it's allowed. My YouTube TV is set for 3 devices. So the TV in the living room, the TV in the bedroom, and I could be watching on Chromebook, but I couldn't have any more. So if you have several TVs in your house, you want to be careful that you don't use more than are allotted, or try to use more than are allotted to you, because you're not going to be able to. It's going to say too many devices in use. So that's it for YouTube TV. Pluto TV. And let's take a look at Pluto TV. Pluto TV is a free streaming service. If you have a smart TV, you can use Pluto TV. There are several things you can do with this. As we're cutting out the TV, you can take a look and see that there is a timeline here. You can turn on and off your closed captioning. You can full screen. You can turn on and off your sound. You can see your schedule. You can see the various networks and channels. If we click on movies here, it will show us all of the movies that are on at various, right now, entertainment, reality, comedy, there's on demand, and there's all kinds of videos and movies recently added. Going back to the live TV, as we look down, you can see there's hundreds and hundreds of free channels on Pluto TV that you can watch at any time. And if you have a smart TV, you can install the app on the smart TV as well. But this way you've got it on your Chromebook. So if you're traveling and you're in a hotel room and you don't like the TV that they have there, or you're somewhere where you want to just watch some entertainment, you can do so with Pluto TV. It's totally free, and that's Pluto TV.
Okay.
All right. Let's hold the questions, Hewie. Is that okay until we do my segment? Then we'll have time afterwards and we'll have some time afterwards to do some questions.
Yeah, we don't want to cut you out.
All right. I have a shorter segment, so this is all right. So let me share my
It's Ron Brown with Tech for Seniors. Today I'd like to talk to you about your Chromebook. We're going to talk about navigating around your Chromebook. Now you remember, if you like this video, please click the like, and would sure appreciate it if you'd subscribe. It really helps us make future videos. Thanks so much. Let's get on with the show. If you've installed apps from the Google Play Store or the Chrome Web Store, here are tips for finding apps quickly and organizing them. To find an app, to search an app on your Chromebook, first look on your keyboard and press the search key or the launcher key as it's known on Chromebooks. Enter the name of the app you want and the app will show in your search results. All right, let's open an app. In the corner of your screen, select the launcher and you'll see a list of the apps used recently. Select the app you'd like to open, and if you want to see all of your apps, just select the up arrow. Use app shortcuts to a specific feature or action within the app. To see if an app has a shortcut, first, in the corner of your screen, select the launcher and the up arrow. Right-click on the app from the drop-down menu and you'll see if there are any shortcuts. To search for an app shortcut, in the corner of your screen, select the launcher. Start typing the search box. If a shortcut is available, it will appear just below the search box. All right, let's customize your desktop. We're going to pin a web page to your desktop. If you go to the same web page often, you might want to pin it to your desktop. Let's open a web page in Chrome. Select More Tools, and create a shortcut. Let's right-click the shortcut icon and select Pin to the Shelf. This is how you pin a web page to your shelf. Let's move or hide the row of apps. You can change the position of the row of apps, also called the shelf. If you right-click on the shelf, you then can point to shelf position. Choose where you'd like the shelf to go, on the bottom of the screen or on the left or right side. To hide the shelf and status area, right-click and select Auto Hide Shelf. When they're hidden, move the pointer to that side of the screen to see your apps, bookmarks, and account picture. To stop hiding the shelf, right-click the shelf and uncheck Auto Hide Shelf. Now you can multitask with windows and tabs. We can switch between windows quickly. This is done by holding the Alt, then the Tab, until you get the window you want to open. You can see two windows at the same time. On the windows you want to see, click and hold the Maximize button. Drag it to the left or right arrow. Repeat for a second window. Or you can use the shortcut Alt plus the left or right parenthesis. A faster way to do this is just go to the Overview window, drag the page you want, and drag it to the right. There it is. Then take the next page you want, drag it to the left. And there you have your two images on the screen. Just learned that this morning. That's pretty cool. Move windows between monitors. In the Overview window, select the window you want to move. Drag the window to the monitor you want to view it in. Virtual desktops make multitasking very easy. I was multitasking this morning on my Chromebook when I was watching Google News, listening to a webinar, and checking my email. By clicking the Overview key, you can see that I have 3 desktops open. The screen in the center is a webinar on Snagit usage. You'll see as I click the window, I am now listening to the webinar put on by TechSmith Academy. By clicking on the desktop, I will start the app that is open at that point on the desktop. As you can see, I've called the center desktop called Snagit, which is running my webinar, and I'm calling the first desktop News. The third desktop we will label Email. So now our desktops are labeled, which makes it easy to identify. In the Chrome operating system, you can have up to 5 virtual desktops with, of course, multiple applications open in each desktop. Hitting the Overview key allows you easily to select which desktop you like. A real cool feature that I use all the time. Video chat for your Chromebook couldn't be easier. You can use Google Meet. You can start a face-to-face video call with Google Meet from your calendar, Gmail, Microsoft Outlook, or a web browser. You can use Google Duo. To chat with Duo, you must install the app and verify your phone number. You can certainly do a Zoom conference call. You can download the Zoom app for your Chromebook. And again, you can use Microsoft Teams with your Chromebook. You have noticed that the keys at the top of your keypad are not function keys. These have unique features for your Chromebook. You can change the mapping of these keys through your Chromebook settings. You can go to the Settings selection, click Device section, and then select Keyboard, and you can remap some of these keys. I would be a little cautious with this because it may affect the functionality of some of your apps. Also, you can, with the click of a switch, turn your function keys back on so the top row of your keyboard will function with the function keys enabled. Finding your apps for a Chromebook is very easy. You have a large selection, most of which can be found at the Google Play Store. You also have Google Web Apps that can be found online. Check your Assistant activity on your Chromebook. When you set up your Google Assistant on your Chromebook, you may be asked to turn on certain settings. You can choose to turn them on or off at any time. Here you'll see that the Google Assistant is turned on, and these are the settings that you can adjust for your Google Assistant. If your touchscreen Chromebook works with a stylus, you can use the stylus to take notes and screenshots, draw or act as a laser pointer, or use it as a magnifying glass. If your Chromebook comes with a built-in stylus, it may be built into the chassis. Click the button on the side of the Chromebook and the stylus will usually pop out. Please note that you can't use Bluetooth styluses with Chromebooks. Use the search bar, search the setting you want, and you'll find it. You can also go to the Settings menu by clicking the Settings tab or Alt-Shift-S. Record your screen. You can take a screenshot or record your video of your Chromebook screen. After you capture your screen, you can view, edit, delete, and share the image or video. Well, it's Ron Brown. Thanks for watching our video on navigating around your Chromebook. We'll see you soon.
All right, so that was a bit about how to get around your Chromebook, and obviously that went fairly quickly. You may want to play that again and have a look at it. It'll certainly be on our replay for you. All right, just one quick question, one quick thing I want to say is that on your Chromebooks, there is, I'm just going to share my screen. If you look at the bottom, if you look at my my arrow here, I want you to come down to the bottom of this Chromebook, and you're going to see a few little changes that have occurred, and you're going to see a bunch of different things. But I want to draw your attention. Sorry, it's small. I was going to put this into the video, but it was just too late last night. I got tired and I couldn't get it finished. But this is called a tote. Does everyone see this little plus arrow here? Yes. And if you click on this, it will bring up. So what is a tote? This is something that I think it was 90 or 91 it came out. Well, a tote is simply an area where all your screen captures, anything you save, there will be a copy of it or a link put in the tote. So you can, this is just a screen capture I did, and you can see that it not only does it save the screen capture to your hard drive, but it puts a link in the tote so you know where things are. It's just a place where screen captures, downloaded files or whatever, it's a link, and this is a holding area called the tote. And you may have not seen this, or it may be a little confusing. You're wondering what it is, but this is a new feature called the tote, T-O-T-E. All right, we'll just stop the share. All right, it is now 11:45. Let's open it up to some more questions. And if you have any questions about anything that I've done or Hewie's done, or we'll open it up. Anybody have anything to say?
There's a couple of questions in the chat box. One is, Hewie, you had YouTube TV on your choices. That was probably in the Titan TV he's talking about. Does that let you know when your subscription put up new episodes, or just put them into my shows? I'm not sure what he's asking there. In the listing, it's whatever is scheduled. And when I was watching, when we actually went into YouTube TV, it creates different lists, and you can set up your favorites, and it'll show you. I also pay, I think, an extra $5 a month, and maybe it was included, I don't recall, but I have unlimited DVR, so I can tell it which ones to record, and it just keeps recording them. And if not, I can go back and look at previous versions, and it'll tell me which ones I've watched and not watched, and so on. So it does. One thing I liked about the YouTube TV is the DVR of everything, and there's no limit to it.
There is a time limit on your DVR. It will keep those shows only for a certain length.
I think it's 30 days, though. Yeah,
I think it's more than that. But
is it? Okay.
There is no limit as to how much you can save.
Yep.
So for the earlier question that was asked about how to save a I showed you how to save a web page to the shelf. You can't actually on a Chromebook put web pages or stuff on the screen, right? Like you can on Windows. It doesn't work like that. So you need to either put it onto the shelf, which I showed you how to do, or as what Hewie said earlier, you can set up in your Chrome browser to have certain pages come up automatically. And that's a Chrome browser feature, which you can set up. And there's lots of videos on that. You know, we're not going to go into how to do that, but just type in YouTube how to set up what you want to do with a Chrome browser. And you just add those tabs in, and they will come up every time you open your Chrome browser, and they'll be open for you.
Even if you're not using your Chromebook, if you're using it somewhere else, if you've set it
Absolutely,
up.
yeah. As long as it's synced, yeah,
Because
yeah,
it's
it'll work. Yep.
It's a browser function, not the operating system function.
Correct. That's right. That is correct.
Any questions? Oh, Sally Ann asked, can you have apps displayed in alphabetical order? I don't believe there's a way to do that automatically, but you can move them around and put them in order that you want, but I don't believe you can. It would be nice if you could just say, put them all in alphabetical order. But what Google does is it puts the Google apps and so on that first page of apps, and they pretty much stay there unless you move them around.
One of the things we haven't talked about, Huey, is the fact that it's like Android, is that you can actually, if you take an app and drag it over on top of another app, you can make a folder.
Absolutely, yeah.
And you can put them in folders. So you could actually take all your apps and say it's my apps folder and have only one folder and have all your apps in that folder, right?
No advantage to it, but yeah.
You could do it. So you can, if you just simply take an app and you drag it on top of another app, just like on an Android system, it'll say, and what folder and what do you want to call the folder. So you can put them into folders.
And do remember that you can drag them out of there. So if you do it by mistake, and I've done that a few times,
right,
you can undo your mistake.
Right. Because it does get rather confusing. I mean, you have six pages. I probably have 6 or 7 pages of apps. And it's oftentimes you want to find the darn thing. You don't really want to go through 7 pages of apps to find it, right? And it would be nice. I think there certainly is a lot of talk about the file structure of a Chromebook. And I expect in future versions of the OS, it will do like you had suggested, maybe alphabetical order. You'll have options to organize them, because it just needs to be better done. But clearly the launcher is you can search in the launcher button. It's like a Chrome browser. You can search in there. It'll give you all sorts of information. It'll look for your apps that are there. Just that launcher button is your friend. So
at the top of the launcher too, you'll see about the 5 latest things you've opened up.
Yeah.
And it puts the buttons and it switches those. So if you open something new, one will drop off and the last one you opened will be on the left.
Right. The last five that you have. And just remember the tote there. It's helpful too, because if you have downloaded something or you've saved something and you wonder where the heck is it, there'll be a link in there, and you just click the link and it'll take you right there. So it is a handy thing to have.
Bill has a question.
Go ahead, Bill.
Yes, is anyone using Keep Notes in Chromebook?
I use Keep, and Keep works in a Chromebook just fine. There's no problem. It's because it's browser. It's an extension, eh? So you need it as an extension in the and it'll be there. But there's a Keep app, an Android Keep app that you can just put in.
Okay.
Yeah, Keep works fine on a Chromebook. No problem.
Yeah. I use Evernote. And you can see the videos that I've done on it, and it works fine on my Chromebook as well. Mm-hmm. So I can save a note on my PC, and it will show up in Evernote on my Chromebook, and vice versa. Bill, do you have another question, or your hand's still up?
My hand was still up.
Any other questions? Certainly you have some.
Does anyone have any comments on what they'd like to see for future presentations? Does anyone have any ideas? We're not sure if everyone sort of got a good sort of working of a Chromebook, and we don't need to do some very basic stuff, or we need to do more basic stuff because you don't know the basics of it. We don't really know what people want. So that's one of our problems. Does anyone have any questions? Or yes, Ron, go ahead.
I'd like to see a little more on using Google Docs, integrating and collaborating between people on a document, whether it's a spreadsheet or word processing document, but more material on Google Docs
Google Docs,
in
okay.
general.
Okay.
What I did with the 4 apps that I have, is that something you would like me to continue with some of the other apps that I have, just so you can see the different things? What I'm trying to do is expose you to see what you can run on a Chromebook, not really to teach you how to use those programs, but so you at least get a feel of some of the apps that are out there and what they do.
Hewie, I think that's really a good idea. If you can do other ones in the future, 2 or 3 or 4 or something like that, just to see what's up there. One of the ones that you had today, you did the Pluto TV, and I realized that I've got that on my Fire TV stick.
Yep.
And so I thought, well, I'm going to go and check that out when we're done here, and see if I can use it. So I would love to see more apps that you have there, kind of, with a short explanation and a look at what it looks like. Because some apps, you look at it and you wonder, okay, what do I do now? I open it, but I don't know where to go.
Yeah, or what does it do? And I don't want to install it because I don't know what it does. Dorothy, you have a question.
Oh, yeah, I was just doing updates, which there were 27 updates, but it said that the Zoom app no longer is compatible with my Chromebook anymore. So I can use the browser version. Yeah.
Now, one of the programs I was going to show you, or I was going to at least record it and have it ready maybe for the next time. I was going to show you the Walmart app, so where you can order and then go pick up, or you have them deliver and so on. And all of a sudden, instead of it being full screen now, it's the size of a phone. It's they've changed the app, and so I sent a note to them saying, "Hey, fix this, will you?" Because it was before that I could full screen and see the descriptions and see the whole thing on the full screen. Now it's just a little box in the center of my screen, and you'll find that. And I've also run into this program is not compatible. The Zoom app, for instance, is not compatible. So you have to use the web version of the Zoom with your Chromebook. So there are some things that either sometimes work and sometimes don't. Depends on what the programmer does with the Android apps, whether they'll work or not properly.
And the other thing was the life expectancy of a Chromebook. I mean, quite often they have them on sale at different places like Best Buy or wherever, and a lot of people think it's a good deal, but I kind of think sometimes that's just old stock they're trying to get rid of before the life expectancy runs out.
So there's a couple of things you want to do when you're going to buy it. One is you want to look up to see when their life ends, because it's not based on when you buy it, it's when it was when the first one was manufactured.
Right.
Not even when yours was manufactured, but when that particular model was manufactured. So you want to look that up. The other thing, I did a video on different things to look for when you go to purchase a Chromebook. But one thing I always advise people is make a list of all of the criteria that you want, and then go and look at them in the store, touchy feel and so on. Don't take your credit card or your money with you the first time you go to a store and look at them, because you're going to get confused and you're going to buy one. And when you get it home, you're going to think, well, it had this feature. It had the backlit keyboard. Oh no, that was the one that was next to it. No, I didn't get the backlit keyboard and I really wanted that. So you want to make sure that the model that you're looking at and you decide on has all of the things. So wait, you'll go home, look over all of the features, make sure that what you're looking for in that is in that model, and then go back and order it, or then go pricing it online and see if you can find it cheaper.
You won't really have that. Best Buy, Walmart, Staples, all those companies, generally their stock is not that old, and I really haven't seen that as a problem. Where it is a problem is buying refurbished ones on Amazon, because a lot of those are school refurbishes, and that might have taken 4 years off the life of that, because it could be a 4-year-old machine that's being refurbished. So you have to be careful with the refurbished ones, but you have 7 or 8 years for these machines usually, so it shouldn't be much of a problem. And Best Buy's really, they rotate their stock pretty quick, so I don't see it as a huge issue.
It could be with Amazon, because you won't know. They could have several models, including some older ones.
Yeah. So
Steve has his hand up.
go ahead, Steve.
Oh,
Stu.
you must be talking to me.
Oh, Stu. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, Stu. Yeah.
When you talk about the app or the Zoom app on the Chromebook, there is one in the Android store. There's also one in the Google Chrome store. And some people have told me they have better success with the one that's in the Google Chrome store than the one that's in the Play Store. So there are two different apps. One runs on Android, one runs on Chrome.
Right. And one is a web app. The one in the Chrome store is a web app.
Right.
And it's running. And as Dorothy said, using that one will work just fine.
Right.
The Android one is made for the Android operating system, which of course Chromium is like the Android operating system, but as Hewie has already pointed out with the one app he looked at, it has to do with how it's formatted and written by the developer for a large screen, because it's not being run on a phone.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in my experience, I've had Chromebooks for 10 years now. 99.99% of all my apps that I've ever done have worked fine on a Chromebook. I rarely have a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
So, it is true you'll get one stinker, but it's not generally. These are so common now in Chromebooks. Well, last year Chromebooks outsold PCs, right? I mean, there's a lot of these being sold. So, developers are going to make sure that most of the programs work.
Yep.
Well, it's 12:01. Another day has gone by. We have, thank you so much for coming. As you know, this is being taped, and we'll have it up on our websites later on today. Or tomorrow, depending how easy my pasta maker is to make pasta tonight. So if I end up all afternoon figuring out how this thing works, I'm not going to have time to upload it. So maybe tomorrow. We'll see how that works. Otherwise, we will see everybody on Monday. Hewie, do you have any final words on life in general?
I just keep discovering new things in my Chromebook, and I just enjoy the heck out of it, and I use it a lot. It's my living room computer, so when I'm watching TV, I'll have it on, and I can look things up when they're talking about things and on TV, and I can watch. And I did play with Pluto TV away from the house. I did not try yet YouTube TV to see if I'm away from the house. I know if you're out of the area, it won't work because it'll know. But be careful with that, with watching some of the TVs. But other than that, enjoy it. Use it for your entertainment.
The other thing to remember is that Chrome announced this last couple of months that they're going to have regular upgrades to the operating system, more so than they have. So it's going to happen quickly, is that we're going to get more and more upgrades, which is good because there'll be lots of new features and everything will work. But just remember, if you're like me and you're finished for the day, I just close the lid and plug it in the charger. Remember, when you do that, you're not turning it off, and it won't switch the upgraded OS. You have to turn it off and reboot it for the switch to occur. As you know, there's 2 copies of the operating system on your machine. One is the updated one, which it does automatically for you, but the other one, of course, is the current one you're using, and it won't switch them until you reboot it. So if you just close the lid, like I do, you'll never get an update. So just make sure you manually, if you're going to do that, once a week, restart your computer or do a manual update, and you'll be fine. But because we want to make sure you have the latest and all the new features.
Yeah, they've been updating them every 6 weeks. They're going to go to every 4 weeks.
Yeah. So that's cool. Yeah. So that will be great.
Okay. And thanks everybody for joining us.
And we
you want a last word, Ron? You were going to say something?
No, other than just there's a whole slew of new Chromebooks coming out. My heavens, there are a lot of new machines and a lot of new stuff coming out. So head down to Best Buy, have a look. I know that Costco's got a ton of them. There are lots of new ones coming out. So lots of choices for everyone.
And there's going to be more announcements from the different brands over the next several weeks. You'll see, because they want to announce them now so they have them ready for the holidays.
You bet.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for coming, everyone. And we will see you, maybe see you on Monday for our show.
I hope
Bye-bye
so.
now.
Bye, everybody.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.